If you've been told you need hip surgery, there are 5 questions you need to ask yourself before you agree to anything. I work with women after hip surgery every single day. Most of them are still in pain, still limited, and when I ask what happened, it comes back to the same thing. Nobody helped them to understand what surgery could and couldn't fix before they agreed to it. I'm going to give you 5 questions to ask yourself. By the end of this video, you'll know if surgery is the right move or if you have more options that you didn't even know existed. So here's the first question. Do I know what caused this damage, or do I only know what the damage looks like? Your scan tells you what broke. It doesn't tell you why your hip got there. Those are 2 completely different things. A woman who only knows what her imaging shows is making a decision based on half of the picture, because surgery fixes the structure. Whatever created the damage in the first place, the way your pelvis has been sitting, the way your muscles have been loading that joint, the patterns your body has been running even for years, that does not get fixed on the operating table. If you can't explain the cause, you don't yet know what surgery is and isn't going to solve for you. Surgical consultations are structured around your scans. Nobody backs up to ask why it got there in the first place, and most patients don't know to ask because the answer on the scan feels like the whole answer. The damage on your scan is real. The reason it got there is still in your body. Surgery addresses one of those things. An honest answer to this question names something beyond the imaging. You should be able to say in your own words something about how your hip has been loading, what your muscles have been doing, and why this joint has been under more stress than it should. If your entire explanation is "my scan shows bone on bone" or "I have a labral tear," you have a description of the damage and not yet an understanding of the cause. Those are different things, and you deserve to understand both before you make this decision. The second question is the one that most women assume has already been handled and almost never has. So here it is. Has anyone actually assessed how my body moves? Has any practitioner I have worked with assessed my posture, my movement patterns, and how my pelvis functions during walking? Or did every treatment go straight to the hip? Most treatment for hip pain targets where it hurts. The injections go into the hip. The PT exercises work the hip. The surgical plan addresses the hip. But the hip is part of a system, your pelvis, your core, the muscles above and below. When something is off in that system, the hip pays the price. So here is what a real assessment actually looks for. Whether your femur is sitting too far forward in the socket, creating that kind of pinching sensation in your groin every time you bend or walk. Whether your pelvis is rotating or dropping when you stand on one leg, which muscles have gone so quiet and weak they have essentially stopped working, and which ones are overworking to compensate. Whether your core is actually stabilizing your pelvis during movement or whether other muscles are doing that job instead. If nobody has ever watched you walk, assessed your pelvis position, or looked at how your body loads that hip during movement, you have been treated for a location, not a cause. An honest answer here is specific. You should be able to say that someone assessed your movement, not just your range of motion on a table, but how your body actually functions when it's under load. Like your walking, single leg stance, hinges, squats, how your pelvis behaves when you move. If every assessment you have had involved lying on a table while someone moved your leg around, that is only one part of the picture. The third question is the one that feels the most uncomfortable to answer, honestly, because it asks you to look at whether what you have already tried actually had a chance of working. Here is the question number 3. Did the conservative treatment I tried actually target the cause, or did it manage symptoms? Most women going into surgery have already tried conservative treatment, PT, injections, anti-inflammatory, stretching. And when those things didn't hold, surgery felt like the logical next step. Proof that conservative treatment had been exhausted. But there is a difference between trying things and trying the right things. Symptom management and root cause correction are not the same treatment. If everything you tried was aimed at reducing pain rather than correcting what created it, you haven't exhausted conservative options. You've exhausted just one category of them. Here is what correcting the cause actually looks like. It means identifying whether your pelvis spins over your femur when you walk, whether your deep hip rotators are gripping or weak, and other muscles are picking up the slack, whether you are loading the joint differently on one side than the other. Then building a program specifically around what your body shows, not a protocol designed for hip pain in general. The reason most women never get that is because standard PT is built for acute injuries and general rehabilitation. The physical therapist seeing 6 patients in an hour working from a standard hip pain protocol is not the same as hip specialists doing a full movement assessment and building a plan around you. If everything you have tried was just designed to reduce the pain, then you haven't actually found someone who helped you to fix the root cause. Ask yourself this. Did anyone ever look at how you specifically move and build a plan around what they found? Or did you get the same program everyone else gets? Trying hard at the wrong treatment is not the same as exhausting your options. The fourth question is about something that almost never gets discussed before surgery, and it's the one that determines whether you get your life back or just your mobility. So here it is. Do I understand what surgery will give me back and what it won't? Can I describe specifically what my life will look like after surgery? Not just this first 6 weeks, but 6 months and maybe even a year out. Surgery has a clear goal: repair the structural damage. What it cannot do is retrain your muscles, correct your movement patterns, or restore strength and function that have been declining for however long your hip has been in pain. Getting back on your feet after surgery is one milestone. Getting back to hiking, to working out, to traveling, to moving through your day without bracing and compensating, that is a different thing entirely, and it requires work that surgery does not do for you. Getting cleared by your surgeon and getting your life back are not the same. Surgical consultations are focused on the procedure and the immediate recovery. The question of what full function actually requires and who is responsible for getting you there is treated as a later problem, something to work out with PT after the fact. So the patient leaves the consultation with a clear picture of the operation and a vague sense that PT will handle the rest. The specifics of what PT will actually do, how long real recovery takes, and what happens if standard rehab doesn't get you all the way back almost never gets discussed before the decision is made. Surgery gets you back on your feet. You are the one who has to get yourself back to your life. And that work has to be planned before you go in, not figured out after. Your surgeon should know exactly what activities you are trying to get back to, and you should have a real plan for getting there, not just a referral. The fifth question is the one most women never think to ask because it is about something that hasn't happened yet. And it is the one that determines what the next 5 years look like. So here's the question number 5. If I have surgery without correcting the underlying cause, what happens to the rest of my body? If the muscle imbalances and movement patterns that damage this hip are still there after surgery, What is the risk to my other hip, to my back and my knees over the next 5 to 10 years? Your hip got damaged for a reason. That reason lives in how your pelvis sits, how your femur loads the socket, how your muscles have been compensating. When one hip is repaired without correcting the underlying pattern, the load that was damaging the first hip goes somewhere else, often to the other hip, often to the lower back, and then knees. The surgery succeeds, the pattern continues, and a few years later, the same story starts playing out somewhere else. This question requires thinking about your body as a connected system rather than collection of structures that get repaired in sequence. I have worked with women who had a hip repaired, felt better for a period, and then started developing the same pattern of pain on the other side. The surgery kind of worked, but the root cause created pain somewhere else. The body is a system, and correcting the cause matters beyond the joint being just repaired. You should be able to say that you have a plan, not a vague intention, but an actual plan for addressing the muscle imbalances and movement patterns after surgery. That plan might involve working with a specialist. It might mean doing specific work before you go in, so your body is in a better position going into surgery. What it should not look like is my surgeon will refer me to PT and we will figure it out from there. If you or your surgeon are saying, let's just get through the first surgery first and deal with the rest after, then you're being set up for a failure. The work and evaluation you do beforehand and the work that comes after the surgery is the most important thing that determines the quality of your life 5 years from now. Surgery is the right answer for some of you watching this. If your hip is locking up, if your movement is severely limited, if the pain is constant and nothing touches it, if you need a cane just to get through your day, that joint may really need to be repaired. These questions are not about talking you out of it. They are about making sure you go in knowing what surgery can fix and what you still have to fix yourself. Surgery is one-way door. You can always decide to have it later. You cannot decide not to have it after the fact. These questions exist so that whenever you walk through that door, you do it knowing exactly what you're walking into. If you want to understand why standard physical therapy keeps failing short before or after surgery, watch this video next. It breaks down exactly why the most common approaches to hip pain don't get to the root of what's driving it.